Hello everybody, welcome back to LizLabz. I guess you could say this is kind of like the info dump portion of the LizLabz, the last two videos and this one. Today we're going to be talking about the zombie animals, and in the next one we're going to be talking about the zombies themselves. Let's start with the animals because there's a chance you might run into some of these before you have a chance to run into a zombie. Most likely you'll run into a zombie, but let's go ahead and cover these guys because there is a large array of animals, and there's a couple of animals that still need a reskin that will probably be coming later on in this version. Very, very soon. But some of these guys have already gotten their reskins, and they look really, really cool. First off, let's cover the non-aggressive animals. We've got the chicken, we have got the rabbit, we have got the stag, and we've got the deer. Now, each one of these, well, the doe, each one of these will give you a bit of meat, a bit of bone, a bit of animal fat, and in the case of the chickens, they will also give you feathers. Now, these eggs you will not get from harvesting the chickens themselves. You'll have to go around and find their nests. But with these bones, you can make yourself a bone knife. If you click on an item and you hit recipes, it will actually bring up these things that you can make from this item. In this case, you could actually craft a bone knife for 5 bones. If I were to check the recipes here, all of these items right here, you can make using the fat from an animal. So very, very important. And obviously feathers make all kinds of arrows. So very, very important. And all of the meat. Just about all of the good meats, all of the good foods you are going to get from hunting. So definitely keep an eye out for these particular creatures. If you can, try and get a stealth damage on one of them, because in the case of the stag and the doe, if you don't completely kill them in one hit, they will run off and it might be hard to catch them. And these guys right here can get lost in the grass, so be very, very careful. Now, let's actually go through all of our basic animals here. Let me get out of God mode. We have got an aggressive chicken. I can't say that I have seen this in base game, but I have seen several mods have an aggressive chicken. I'm assuming this is probably in a specific POI that I have not found yet. Should be interesting to run across one of these. I have not got the AI on right now, so I don't want to know exactly what it is all of these guys would do to me if I turn their AI on. But he does seem... I don't know. Does he seem like a bigger chicken? He looks like a bigger chicken. I don't know. But he still acts like a normal chicken. And then, of course, we've got the snake, which is very... Well, it will hiss. You'll be able to hear it. Actually, I just thought about it. All of the sounds of animals going on right now. Okay, now on to all of our aggressive beasts of the 7 days. We have an aggressive chicken. I haven't actually run into one of these guys in world yet, but it is inside the game files, and therefore there's a chance you might find yourself an aggressive chicken somewhere. Then we have the snake, usually found in the desert, but can be found in other places and in POIs. Very, very sneaky. We have the vulture, usually on tops of buildings and stuff, and are very, very irritating. Also, if you are in the snow biome and you get hit and your character is low on health, these guys will activate out in world and come after you. This guy right here is actually an irradiated vulture, and they spit like a cop does, but of course there is no physical difference between the two of them. Then we have the wolf, and we have the dire wolf. Wow. They're synchronized. Anyway, very, very cute, very, very scary and creepy. And then we've got the zombie dog. We have got the mountain lion. Very, very vicious remake on these particular creatures. They are very fast. And then we have got the coyote, a very sneaky creature, only in the desert area. And then we have got the bear and the little bear. I kind of want to rub his face. And then we've got the zombie bear, which has just recently been added and exceptionally gruesome. It's missing an eye and looks kind of creepy, whereas this one kind of looks fluffy. And you almost want to rub its snout, but, you know, you probably shouldn't. So that is the bear. And then, of course, we have got Grace. I know that they're going to do a reskin on Grace, so if Editing Liz happens to find any of the art for Grace, if you could put it over there somewhere so we could see what that looks like. But so far it has not been implemented in the game, but she is supposed to get herself a reskin on there. And if I'm not mistaken, that is all of the animals. The chickens have not got a reskin. Those guys have not had a reskin. And you guys have had one. If I'm not mistaken, the birds got one at the same time. These guys got a reskin, because I don't know if we're going to get another reskin on those guys. But who knows? That's all of the animals, and right now I'm just going to show you something else, which is a feature of the game. In the dev mode, you can actually see how much health they have, the health on that guy, the health on only 8 points, 104, 9, 101, and 42. The dire wolf is 2,941, pretty beefy. 229, 192, 848, 900, okay. 2,790, 650, 4,235, and then the health of Grace. I will say that Grace has got not as much health as you would figure she would have. I think she's probably going to be changed eventually, because honestly, these guys are as dangerous as Grace is, and Grace is supposed to be a boss, so I think she may or may not get a nerf of some sort. Look forward to that happening at some point, now that this has been pointed out. Definitely Grace needs to be nerfed. She needs to be bad A. But that is the health pool of each one of those animals. Obviously, these guys being so beefy and so exceptionally fast means that these guys are exceptionally dangerous. If during one of your first initial runs and you're playing your game, if you happen to hear a dog bark, run. That's all I'm going to say. Run. Simply because these guys can move as fast as you do in the base game, regardless to whether or not you have your zombies on a specific speed. These are game enders early day, and sometimes they run in packs, so be very, very careful. Most of these other things, you can hear them coming before they show up. The birds usually squawk, you can hear the wolves howl, you can hear the dogs bark, the coyote usually does a yelp right before it happens, the snake will make a noise. The bears, you could typically hear them and see them well in advance if you're paying attention. And also be careful whenever you're mining, because any of these bad guys can fall in the hole with you and end an entire playthrough while you're mining, because if they fall in the hole with you, it might be very hard to get out if you haven't made yourself a way out. That is all of the animals of 7 days. So, ladies and gentlemen, what can we find out from all of this? Obviously, there's a huge assortment of meat that's on the menu. And obviously, there are a few creatures that people are given in order to find easier meat. And I would definitely recommend hunting those, not hunting for the big ones. It would be a very, very bad idea to go after a bear with a pipe pistol, obviously. But if you don't have anything else, a pipe pistol might stop you from dying to one of these guys. And if you're fighting a mountain lion and you have a pipe weapon, you're probably not going to make it. I'm sorry to say. Get into an elevated position and get off that floor. Put a door between you and whatever the bad guy is, because in a lot of cases, these guys are faster than you. The snakes you're probably okay with, and the wolves are a little bit easier to kill because they hesitate. They will run away. The irradiated animals will not run away when damaged. The other guys, if you do a certain amount of damage, they will run off and come back later on, so there's a chance of getting away from them. That is, I think, all of the information I can give you on all of the animals. The animals, not zombie animals, have a threshold of pain. So if you damage them enough, they will run away and come back later. And the zombie animals get out of the room, put a door between you and them, that kind of thing. That is basically what I would say if you don't have the ability to fight them. But this is also another reason to not go into biomes before you are absolutely ready. Earlier game, you are less likely to find the zombie versions of some of these animals, or irradiated versions, or even Grace. You probably won't find her unless you go into a specific POI and find her. These ones, you will only find them in specific biomes, specific levels. You will not find them just wandering around the pine forest early days. You don't have to worry about it. These little guys, on the other hand, actually show up in a few POIs in some people's backyards, and the trailer park that they show up in. I'm not going to give you any more hints, and I'm not going to show you any pictures because that will take away some of the surprises. But these guys are actually in the place of any place you would figure a dog would be. So if you see a dog house, there might be one of these. And these guys are game enders early days, so be very, very careful. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is it on the array of animals. And as of right now, 1.0b333, there is no talk of additional animals added to the game, just reskins of existing animals. So go ahead and let you guys go with this really short video, which is a very quick look into how many diverse animals we have in the wasteland. I will see you next time. You have a wonderful day, and you stay shiny.